Hey everyone, Dr. Mike here, and I'm teaming up with Visions Beyond today to talk about a condition that affects millions but often flies under the radar: diabetes. Now, diabetes has a knack for sneaking up on people, often disguising itself with symptoms that are easy to overlook. We're talking about those little things you might brush off as just being tired or getting older. But here's the thing, recognizing these early signs is absolutely crucial for timely intervention and management. Early detection can make a world of difference when it comes to diabetes. Today, we're diving deep into the top 10 early indicators of diabetes that might just be hiding in plain sight. All right, let's kick things off with a symptom that might have you wondering if you're secretly part camel: frequent urination. If you find yourself making more trips to the restroom than usual, especially during the night, it could be a sign of diabetes. When your blood sugar levels are consistently high, like in diabetes, your kidneys go into overdrive. The kidneys can't keep up, so they start flushing out that excess glucose through your urine. And guess what? Water follows sugar, which means you're also flushing out a ton of fluids. Hence the frequent trips to the bathroom. Now, everyone's bathroom habits are different. But if you're noticing a significant increase in your pee breaks, especially at night, that's definitely something to pay attention to. Don't just brush it off as getting older or drinking too much water before bed. It could be your body trying to tell you something's up with your blood sugar. Let's talk about thirst, that primal urge to guzzle down water like you've been wandering the desert for days. We all get thirsty from time to time, but if you're experiencing excessive thirst that just won't quit, it could be linked to diabetes. Remember how we talked about frequent urination in the last chapter? Well, all that peeing leads to dehydration, which in turn triggers your thirst mechanism. It's like a vicious cycle. High blood sugar makes you pee more, you get dehydrated, so you drink more, and then the cycle repeats itself. But here's the catch. Even though you're drinking tons of water, you still feel thirsty. And if you find yourself constantly reaching for your water bottle, and I'm talking way beyond your usual hydration needs, it's worth paying attention to. This unquenchable thirst, combined with frequent urination, is a classic early warning sign of diabetes. Okay, I know what you're thinking. Losing weight without even trying? That sounds like a dream, not a health concern. And hey, I get it, but here's the thing. Unexplained weight loss, especially if it's significant or rapid, can actually be a red flag for diabetes, especially type 1. It might seem counterintuitive, but when your body can't utilize glucose for energy effectively, it starts looking for alternative fuel sources. And guess what's on the menu? Your fat stores and muscle mass. So while you might be happy to see the numbers on the scale going down, it's not necessarily a good thing. This type of weight loss isn't healthy or sustainable. Now, I'm not saying that every pound you lose is a sign of diabetes. But if you're noticing a significant drop in weight without making any changes to your diet or exercise routine, it's definitely worth getting checked out. All right, let's talk about everyone's favorite topic: food. More specifically, that insatiable hunger that seems to strike no matter how much you eat. We've all been there after a hard workout or a long day. But if you're experiencing persistent excessive hunger, it could be a sign of something more serious, like diabetes. This ravenous hunger, known as polyphagia in the medical world, occurs because your body's cells aren't getting the glucose they need to function properly. Think of it this way: glucose is like the fuel that keeps your cells running smoothly. But in diabetes, your body either doesn't produce enough insulin, type 1, or can't use insulin effectively, type 2. Without enough insulin, or with insulin resistance, the glucose can't get into your cells, leaving them starving for energy. If you're feeling hungry all the time, even after eating a satisfying meal, don't just brush it off as a fast metabolism. We live in a society that glorifies busyness and often equates exhaustion with productivity. But there's a big difference between feeling tired after a long day and experiencing persistent, unexplained fatigue that just won't quit. If you're constantly feeling drained, like your internal battery is perpetually stuck on low-power mode, it could be a sign of diabetes. Remember how we talked about glucose being the fuel that powers your cells? Well, when your cells are deprived of glucose due to diabetes, your energy levels plummet. It's like trying to run a car on fumes. You might be able to sputter along for a little while, but eventually you're going to come to a grinding halt. Now, I'm not saying that every yawn or afternoon slump is a cause for concern, but if you're feeling unusually tired for an extended period, and especially if it's accompanied by other symptoms like frequent urination, excessive thirst, or unexplained weight loss, it's definitely worth getting checked out. Let's talk about vision for a moment. Our eyes are incredible organs that allow us to experience the world in all its vibrant detail. But what happens when our vision starts to blur? While it's easy to dismiss blurry vision as a sign of aging or eye strain, it could actually be a sign of diabetes. You see, high blood sugar levels can wreak havoc on your eyes, particularly the lenses. These tiny, transparent structures behind your iris and pupil are responsible for focusing light onto your retina, allowing you to see clearly. But when your blood sugar is consistently elevated, it can cause the lenses to swell like tiny water balloons. This swelling disrupts the lens's ability to focus light properly, leading to blurry vision. Now, in the early stages of diabetes, this blurry vision might come and go as your blood sugar levels fluctuate. We've all experienced the occasional cut, scrape or bruise. It's a part of life, right? And usually our bodies are pretty amazing at healing these minor wounds. But what happens when those cuts and scrapes seem to linger, taking forever to heal? While slow healing wounds can be caused by various factors like age or certain medications, it can also be a sign of diabetes. Here's why. High blood sugar levels can interfere with your body's natural healing process. For one, elevated glucose can impair circulation, making it harder for oxygen and nutrients to reach the injured tissues. Secondly, high blood sugar creates a breeding ground for bacteria, so if you're noticing that cuts, scrapes or even blisters are taking longer than usual to heal, or if you're experiencing frequent infections, it's essential to get your blood sugar checked. Ever get that pins and needles sensation in your hands or feet? You know, that weird tingling or numbness that makes you want to shake it off? While it's usually harmless and temporary, like when you've been sitting in the same position for too long, persistent tingling or numbness, especially in your extremities, could be a sign of nerve damage, also known as neuropathy, which can be caused by diabetes. High blood sugar can damage the delicate nerves throughout your body, but it often affects the nerves in your extremities first, particularly your feet. Think of your nerves like electrical wires that transmit signals between your brain and the rest of your body. When these wires are damaged by high blood sugar, the signals get disrupted, leading to tingling, numbness, pain, or even a burning sensation. If you're noticing persistent or worsening tingling, numbness, or pain in your hands or feet, especially if you have other risk factors for diabetes, it's crucial to see your doctor. We all experience dry skin from time to time, especially during the colder months. But what if your skin is constantly dry and itchy, no matter how much lotion you slather on? While dry, itchy skin can be caused by various factors like weather, allergies, or skin conditions, it can also be a sign of diabetes. Remember how we talked about frequent urination being a common symptom of diabetes? Well, all that peeing can lead to dehydration, which can affect your skin's moisture balance. When your body is dehydrated, it tries to conserve water by pulling it from your skin, leaving it dry, flaky, and itchy. So, if you're experiencing persistent dry, itchy skin that doesn't respond to over-the-counter moisturizers, it's worth considering diabetes as a potential culprit. Our immune systems are incredible defense mechanisms, constantly working to protect us from harmful invaders like bacteria, viruses, and fungi. But what happens when our immune systems are compromised? Well, we become more susceptible to infections, and unfortunately, high blood sugar can weaken our immune defenses, making us more vulnerable to those nasty bugs. When your blood sugar is consistently elevated, it creates an environment where bacteria and fungi thrive. And to make matters worse, high blood sugar can also impair the function of your white blood cells, the soldiers of your immune system that fight off infections. So if you're finding yourself battling infections more often than usual, whether it's a urinary tract infection, a yeast infection, a skin infection, or even frequent colds or flu, it's essential to get your blood sugar checked. So there you have it, the top 10 early signs of diabetes that you might be missing. Remember, Diabetes is a tricky condition. It often sneaks up on you, disguised as everyday aches, pains, and inconveniences. If you're experiencing any of these symptoms, don't panic, but don't ignore them either. Schedule an appointment with your doctor, get your blood sugar checked, and let's work together to prevent or manage diabetes effectively.